All right, Monroe artists, we are going to experiment with Google Draw today and become digital artists. So when you go to your Chromebooks, you're going to open up a new web browser. We're going to go to our waffle in the top corner and open up our drive. In the drive, we're going to go to that plus sign that says New in the top corner. And we are going to go all the way down and click More. And that's where you're going to find Google Drawings. When we open up Google Drawings, there's a checkerboard background. That is just showing that our paper is empty. If we were to hit print right now, it would print blank. We're going to start by naming our paper up in the top corner. And I'd like you to put your name and then drawing, just so that we'll both be able to find it on another art day, and Mrs. Cleary will be able to print your drawing easily. So from here, we're going to spend a lot of time experimenting with the shapes and the lines. The first thing you're probably going to want to do is give your background a color. So today is just about experimenting. So you might want to be thinking about what you want to draw. Using your peace fingers, you're going to just do a 2-finger tap on your mouse pad. If you have a mouse, it's just a right click and you'll find a background option. So I'm going to make my background a blue color, thinking about a sky. From here, I'm going to go up to this top row and click on the shape. So if I just put my mouse on top of that little button, it tells me shape. When you click on the shape, you have a lot of options. If you click just on that first one that says shapes, there's some drop downs, there's arrows, callouts, math equations. I'm going to stick with these shapes. I'm going to find a circle. And I'm going to make a snowman. So I click and drag that cursor and I get a round shape. I want my snowman to be white. So if I go back up to the top, I have options because this shape's selected. There's a box around it. I'm going to click on the button that says fill color and I can change that color. I'm going to make it white. There is already a border around that shape, an outline. I prefer not to have one. That's your choice. But next to the fill, there's a border option, and you can make it transparent, see-through. You could change the color. You could even go next door and click on border weight and make it really thick. I don't think that looks like a real snowman. So I am going to take that off. I am going to click border color and click transparent. From here, I'm going to go back up to my shapes, find another circle for my snowman. And because I just changed the color and the border, it changes my next shape automatically to match, which makes it easy if you're building something like a snowman. All right, from here, I know my snowman needs a face. So I'm sticking with that circle shape. I'm going to make a small circle, and it went back to blue because I clicked off my snowman and started building again. I want black eyes. All right, I'm going to be a little bit of a problem solver. I know that I'm going to want black eyes and black buttons. So instead of making a bunch of these shapes, I'm going to go up to Edit, and I'm going to copy and go up to Edit and Paste, and it gives me a second eye. I'm going to do an edit and a paste because it's already copied and I have a button. Edit, paste, I got another button. Edit, paste, and I have another one. All right, as a third grader, we know that we do not want floating objects. So I need to add something at the bottom, some snow. There are a couple of ways we could do that. My snow could just be a shape. If I picked a rectangle and I brought it all the way across the bottom of my paper, that would look like snow. If I change the color to white, if I take the outline off there, not bad. But I know that in real life, snow is never going to be completely straight. So I'm going to click that shape. I'm actually going to delete it. So I just touch the backspace key on my keyboard and it takes it away. If you wanted it back, up here there's some arrows that let you undo. And it would undo a lot of steps if I keep clicking it. I can also redo it, bring it all back. But I'm going to show you another option for that ground. So I'm going to delete it, backspace. Up at the top, there's a line tool. This line tool can give you just normal lines. Like maybe I want lines for my snow person's arms. But there's something in that line tool called a polyline, which lets you create your own shape. It is called an organic shape when we make up our own shapes that don't have names. I'm going to click and it gives me a point. And right now I'm just moving my mouse. I'm not holding it down at all. And I'm clicking to find another point. I could make a really big hill right here. I'm going to have it kind of come down. I click and let go. I move it, click and let go. And I'm going to stretch it across my paper. To make it into a shape, I have to close it up. So I'm going to follow the perimeter of my paper, clicking and touching my beginning point, turns it into a shape. From here, maybe my snow is just a little bit of a gray color. I'm going to take that outline off of there. I want that snow, though, to be behind the snow person. So I'm going to click this select tool to make sure my snow that I just made is selected. It has a box around it. If I go to arrange and order, I can send that shape to the back. You can see how now my snowman is overlapping the snow. I'm going to continue to work on this. I might use that polyline tool to make a scarf blowing in the wind. This polyline tool is by far the hardest to use. So if you want to experiment with it today, you can. If you're like, oh, I think I'm just going to stick with the shapes that are already there, you can do that too. All right, the last thing I want to show you is in that shape box. Most kids enjoy using shapes that might make it a little easier, like clouds or a moon or a sun. Those are already built in there. Oh my gosh, there's a big storm coming. We better make that cloud white. And if I want a bunch of clouds, remember, copy and paste. Today, help each other out when you find something new or you're stuck. See if you can help somebody around you. And as always, ask the teacher if you have any other questions. At the top, when you're all done, you're going to hit that share button. And you're going to type in your teacher's email address. They'll have it up on the board for you. So I would have my students type in my name. And when they type in my name, then it will send to me and I can print it out. I'm not going to send it to myself for now, though. So I hope you enjoy working with your digital mosaic.